Hey guys, Halo213 here with another video, and today we're going to be talking about kind of a serious topic for the channel. That plus, hey, I haven't done a video in a while, so good time to upload. You're probably wondering what this is about. You're like, oh, why does it say I'm sorry in the thumbnail? Why we get this listing of a title of a video? Like, what's going on? So, nothing crazy is happening, and at least in my eyes. Some of you might think this is a bit bonkers. But a huge change is coming to the channel where I'm going to stop streaming on Twitch. And I want to apologize for the people who do prefer Twitch over YouTube, but right now, where my morals stand with how much issues I've had with Twitch, I'm just shifting over to YouTube because it's easier for me, and it makes me feel morally more acceptable to do so in comparison to what's going on with Twitch right now. Or in what has been happening, I should say. So to those who are like just here for the brief update, that's pretty much the update. For those who want to listen in and hear the juicy details, we can get into that right now, actually. So, why am I leaving Twitch? There's many reasons. There's a bit of a backstory. I started streaming on Twitch as something that was easy to do because at the time Twitch made it the easiest, and it was kind of the biggest platform back when I started. I don't know how well, or if it was the first one to do the stereotypical like stream layout and all that other websites have done in the past, or if it was the first. I have no idea. But it was easy back then, and as issues slowly raised, it kind of pushed me away from staying on Twitch. The first start out with, and I'm gonna kind of my first point is like the elephant in the room, I should say, that's happened recently. If you're on social media a lot, you know about the whole issue with Emerichu and the TwitchCon incident. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, as a brief rundown, there was a famous, I guess, streamer on TwitchCon that was technically sexually assaulted by a weirdo or a creep, if you want to call it that. And Twitch staff did absolutely nothing, well, almost absolutely nothing, to resolve the matter in a timely fashion. The more details on that is, I guess, that the police were never contacted when it happened, and the guy got to walk freely out of the place without, any penalty or anything, minus what I guess Twitch chat was saying, or sorry, Twitch CEO was saying a 30-day ban, which is kind of silly. But anyway, there's that, and then supposedly the police weren't even reported weeks after because the content creator's manager reached out to the police to get an update on the report and found out there was nothing being filed. So there's like the tip of the iceberg matter. It's something that happened recently that kind of pushed me over the edge to do this, but it's one of those things where it's just one point out of the other couple big ones I'm about to draw up. So putting that aside, one of the big reasons why I'm leaving Twitch is I'm kind of sick of seeing Twitch be very selective on who they're banning. Not to say that when I'm moving over to YouTube that won't probably happen, but at least it's on a scale where it's not as huge, because what I've seen on YouTube, I see a lot of more free content and being open about what you want to do on there. And, within a morale matter, that is. Not to mention, it's kind of like the argument of like how the restrictions are set and how they're managed. Would you rather have it be more strict and have certain things be targeted and less content because of it, or would you rather have more content, have less stuff restricted, and at least most of the stuff, or not most of, I should say, a lot of the stuff is getting taken care of. Over the time, Twitch obviously is not as big as YouTube with how much content they have. And if they do, and I missed something, I do apologize. But as far as I'm aware, YouTube has more content. But in the time that I've been seeing, like other content creators that I watch have been banned for quote-unquote TOS reasons, or have been, blocked or from Twitch for TOS reasons for stuff they didn't even do. And Twitch did absolutely nothing to resolve that. One of the content creators, and this might be controversial, that I watch is Asmongold. He does a lot of stuff for like gaming stuff, which I care more about. I'm not too aligned with his political views. He has his own political views, so be it. When he was on the platform, though, he was banned on Twitch a couple of times because of what he said, whether it be a political view or something he was just talking about as far as logic goes. And the part that peeves me is that content creators who announce their opinions or give their opinions online like that get banned because Twitch doesn't like it. And it kind of peeves me that there's other content creators on here, they're, you know, that aren't, I'm not going to say names because I don't want to give them the support, but are bigger, and they don't get any penalty. There's no banning, there's no like timing their channel out. It's just, they just get to sit freely at the top, you know, and get away with whatever they want to say. And I'm not okay with that, because it's one thing, it's like if you're going to put everything through the ringer on so intense on someone, then everyone should have to follow the same rules, and they just don't do it. I guess the part that really pet peeves me on that is that some of these content creators have made like death threats to people, which is not okay. I know that I've made content, you know, just joking about like, haha, you know, he died or whatever, you know. Usually it's something like just for joking around or like a goof. You should never take someone's life, you know, or, well, I mean, you should never take someone's life, no, but you should never like put or threaten someone's life in a meaningful way. It's just not right, you know. It's one of those things where there's definitely a line, and a lot of those content creators cross that line on Twitch, but no one does anything about it on Twitch, and that really peeved me. The other side to it, I think this has been a meme for a while, is a lot of Twitch is turning into like soft porn. I mean, you shouldn't say turning, it has been soft porn, with a lot of like the just talk area and other like tabs like ASMR and stuff, which I do love ASMR, has turned into soft porn, unfortunately, and I'm really not okay with that either. YouTube has kind of cracked down on their end for it. Is it still on there somewhere? Probably, but it's more moderated than the other stuff, and I kind of am okay with that. And I'd rather be on a platform that doesn't have soft porn on it as a main tab. I understand there's people out there that are like, well, you know, that's just how people goon. It's like, okay, cool, but like there's other platforms and other websites that are used for that. If you're trying to connect to their personality, sure. Fun facts, and I looked it up before this because I wanted to make a point before I even dropped this. Apparently you can live stream on Pornhub, which I did not know. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a user of it, but it's like, come on, man. You go over there then if you really want to do that type of stuff. Keep it off this platform. You know, I respect the people who do IRL streams with content that isn't just gaming, but like, you know, come on. NSFW, there's content on here right next to stuff like Fortnite, which is one of arguably the biggest games for the youthful audience, is going to be on this platform. You really want to put that right next to Fortnite. You know, I don't support Fortnite, but you know, you gotta put it there, really. Anyway, so there's that, and then one of the last points I'm gonna make, and this is kind of the more bigger ones to why I'm leaving, is that I've had so much issues with Twitch in the past. It's not even funny. At first it was, sorry about that. At first it was a issue with like the just the computer that I had, and it wasn't being able to host it too well at one point because they would put like minimum requirements, which is fine, you know, that's a hardware issue. But then, you know, there's other issues. So like for like streams cutting out randomly and disconnecting from the server, you know, had the best internet connection, but somehow that still affected it. I had recently resolution descaling, which was the issue that a lot of the what's it called, Beaked and Halo's Marathon, Spooky Marathon, got messed up because of it, where it looks like it's in 480p when it's not supposed to. Now, you know, there's no fix to that. It's just however it feels like it's exported over to YouTube. And then just a bunch of software upkeep, which to be able to run my channel, and I guess I could just get rid of like it, but a lot of the moderation stuff I use on there, I have to keep up to date, make sure it's fixed, go into the software code and fix it if something breaks down. It's just not helpful. With my YouTube setup I can do all of that through a cloud where everything's updated 24/7 on its own. I haven't had maintenance issues when I've been testing it, on top of the fact that I can just have OBS open and that's all I need, because then it gives me more bandwidth, more, you know, CPU usage to use. It just makes it way easier to work with. So for that main reason is, you know, a bigger reason why I'm also switching over to YouTube for streaming. I put a lot of thought and consideration to this. You know, it's been a couple weeks of me debating whether or not to switch over, and I thought right after our spooky marathon would be the good time, because then it gives me more time to learn and understand how to use YouTube for streaming, so that when I get into it, I'm not just completely, you know, out of it. Not to mention, it would be kind of weird if we started spooky marathon on Twitch and then just ended it on YouTube. So it felt like a good breaking point right there to switch over. All that being said, yeah, so content will still keep coming. Again, I apologize to the Twitch audience. You know, it's one of those things where if you want to watch me, I'll be on YouTube. You know, who knows, maybe one day I'll come back to Twitch, but until things get fixed, I don't see myself going near there. But yeah, if you got more of this content, let me know. Kill like button, subscribe, become a Spartan a day. Halos out. Bye.